It's your boy, Radical. Now, I'm making this video because I found it very interesting how a lot of pro-blacks, right? Mind you, there's different sectors of pro-black, right? A lot of pro-blacks who fall into this definition, into these mindsets, have a lot in common with white supremacist groups. They have a lot in common with that. And it's something that I feel like I should at least point out. You know what I'm saying? It's not every pro-black individual, but like the FBA types, the super militant, pro-black types. That's what I'm talking about. They got a lot of things in common with white supremacist groups. For example, very pro Second Amendment. Mind you, when I talk about this, it's not something I'm going against. I'm just saying. I'm just wanting to point it out. Very pro Second Amendment, right? Believe in the LGBT agenda, which I kind of believe also, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. Immigration, closing borders. They're very anti-immigration. You know what I'm saying? And they also believe that the government is attacking them, right? Now, white supremacist groups actually say it's an anti-white type of establishment and all this other stuff, when in reality, there's really no evidence of that. But pro-black folks say that the government is going against them, calling it white supremacy, which there is evidence of that, right? So the only difference between these two groups, right, is that white supremacists will not mind getting violent. They don't mind actually having their racial beliefs not only challenged, but put out in the forefront. And pro-black people will not get violent. The most that they'll do is organize and make their problems pretty much mainstream. You know what I'm saying? That's basically the only difference. There is a couple of other differences, but that's basically about it. And the reason why I found it very interesting to further prove my point. Tariq Nasheed recently had Richard Spencer on one of his Twitter spaces, and they were pretty much agreeing on a lot of things. They were pretty much agreeing on a lot of things, and I want you guys to take a listen. Here you go.
Seriously about what we can do.
Right. The movement now with all of the sexual confusion with the trans this and the trans that, how do you think that affects your community? Because they use Black people, they'll use us as the face of it to sell it. But ultimately, a lot of that is done to undermine your numbers as well in the white community. Do you understand that?
I absolutely understand that. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a terrible confusion in terms of identity, and I think we're the way I would describe it, and this is going to get a little bit dark, I guess, is that we're in a bottleneck, and the people who are going to get out of this bottleneck, that is the people who are going to have a future and have children, are going to be those who are either, to be frank, too stupid to care. Let's they just have a kid because they were at some biker bar and they knocked some girl up,
Right.
Or they're going to have a strong will to live.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause it right there. That's pretty much, that's me proving my point about the whole, anti-LGBT. There's an agenda and stuff, which I do believe. I do believe there is a LGBT agenda, being pushed or whatever the case is. But that's neither here nor there. That's something that I'm proving that they agree with. Now, with these super pro-black, right? There's also I've always noticed, and this comes from the ignorant class of the super pro-black people, that they have a anti-latino agenda as well. Basically, anti-anything. If you're not black, it's your enemy. But for some reason, there's a lot of misconceptions and a lot of things that's not true about the Latino community that they like to spew, which is retarded. They could literally pro-black. Listen, a lot of pro-black people live right around Latin folks, so I don't know why there's a misconception that you could just literally go to any bodega and talk to us. You know what I'm saying? But again, there was a Twitter space that there was a Latino dude. He's a little bugged out, but a Latino dude that was a part of this Twitter space, and there was a lot of misconceptions and a lot of basically lies talked about the Latino community. Take a look.
Hey, look,
Yeah, we
I'm
thought
about
you
to
just
tell you.
wasn't.
I'm about to tell you. I don't know where you from, right? I'm gonna just talk about four cities, right? You got LA, where it's a race war out there, where Hispanics siding with the LA Sheriff Department. You got
Exactly.
the LA.
Uh, that's 100% false. All Latinos are not signing in with the sheriff LA department, you know. And the thing is, you know, I understand there's LA gangs out here. I totally get it. I totally understand that there's LA gangs, you know, in the police force. I totally get that. You know what I'm saying? But let's be 100% honest. It's not just, you know, Latinos. There's also evidence of black folks joining these LA gangs, attacking other black folks. So you can't just put everything on us. And also, LA is completely different from all over the United States. And I'm not gonna lie, LA they have their own mindset. Trust me, I've been to LA. They have their own mindset. And also, one more thing, if people don't, you know, are confused, Latinos, we're not a monolith. Okay, just because Mexicans do one thing doesn't mean they represent the whole group. So let's keep it a G.
Villanueva, they called him out. What did he do? He called out LeBron. He's terrible. Then you got Chicago. I wish you would be black walking through Little Village. You better have it on you. Latin Kings.
Again, that's not truth. That's a lie. If you go to Little Village, they're always attacking black folks. Come on now. When that whole riot thing happened with George Floyd, they were attacking anybody that wasn't from their neighborhood, not just because they were black. Is they were attacking anybody, white folks, black folks, Asians, anybody. So let's stop that. Let's stop. That's been disproven. So let's stop that.
I wish you would be black walking through Little Village. You better have it on you. Latin Kings in Chicago working with the government,
Another lie. No Latin Kings is working with the government. Let's go.
working directly with the police. You got NYC, where Puerto Ricans and Dykemen.
Again, another lie. Puerto Ricans are not in Dykeman. They're in the Bronx. Dykeman, Washington Heights is full of Dominicans. At least get your stereotypes straight. And he's gonna be talking about again that same video where they got these boys that ran. They got them run out. It's been disproven already. That was a fake video. They took a little snippet and blew it up the way it did. That's all BS. That didn't happen. Let's keep it going.
During the George Floyd riots did the same thing. You got Houston, Tango Blast, and TDC Mexican versus Black riots going on all the time. I don't know what you're talking about. In every city is going on. Look up the office in New Americans. That's in 175 cities across America. And when people come in talking about capitalism, man, I don't want.
Now he's gonna go into this whole thing about capitalism because of what the dude was talking about reptilians and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna get into it. But my main point is there's a anti-Latino agenda in the pro-black sector, and it's cool. They can have that. They can have that, but then don't be surprised when other Latinos don't want to mess with y'all or feel some type of way because y'all already felt some type of way. You know what I'm saying? That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say because I felt wild disrespected when I heard that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because none of it is true. None of it is true. You know what I'm saying? Let's not pretend like both sides. Let's not pretend like both sides are innocent. There's bad things that happen on both sides. You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of bad things that happen on both sides. For example, the reason why the Bloods got created in New York City was because of the Latin Kings. And that's the narrative I like to hear. Oh, it was a bunch of Latinos that came in and started picking on a bunch of black folks that came together and they formed the Bloods to protect themselves. Well, actually, if you guys found out and actually go do your history and found out why the Latin Kings in jail got even created, because a bunch of black folks were picking on Latinos who didn't know English and all that other stuff. That's the reason why we formed. And then when they formed the whole Latin King stuff, then they became the people that we're going against. And this is exactly what I'm trying to point at. The super pro-black sector, the FBAs and the super militant, they're going to become the people that they're going to fight against. They're going to become the white supremacists with blackface. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Am I bugging? Maybe I am. I don't know. I'm going to catch y'all later. Peace.